Hi guys, welcome back. So if you haven't been with us before, my name is Mariah and this is Scott.
Hello.
And we are going to be baking with you today. So today we are making my family's brownie recipe, which can be made gluten-free, dairy-free, or normal. So it's completely up to you. You can do whatever is best for your family, but we will walk you through the gluten-free, dairy-free, and just tell you how to adapt if you wanted to. So first you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And also you're going to want to grab whatever you're going to cook your brownies in. So this is 8.5 by 8.5. This is what we're going to use. You can use a different size. It just depends on what type of brownies you want. And you're just going to want to put some margarine on the bottom. So we're going to do that now. Let's see, I'll just grab a knife and put some in here. And I'm going to just get Scott to squish that around until it's covering the bottom and sides. Go for it, Scott. You're going to use your fingers or paper towel. Yeah, you're going to have to get messy. All right, so for this recipe, I'm going to teach you how to make the brownies. And then with my family, we put icing on our brownies. I know not everyone does, so it's up to you. But if you didn't want to put icing on them, you could just add chocolate chips or nuts or something to them to make them a bit fancier. But we're going to do icing. All right, how's that going, Scott?
Oh, good.
Okay, so once that is done, you can set that aside and we won't need that till later. Okay, so bake 350, and we're going to preheat that oven. Now, in your bowl, Scott is going to mix the sugar. We're going to use white sugar, and we are using vegan margarine. So we use the Cell, and it has a vegan vegetable-based one, so there's no dairy in this one. If you just wanted to make normal ones, you can use butter, you can use regular margarine, or you can use shortening. We haven't tried it with oil. Coconut oil, if you're going to use, would probably be your best bet just because it comes in a solid. But we use the vegan margarine and that seems to work. So Scott, you need half a cup of margarine. So you're going to use the glass measuring cup. And you're going to do, yeah, you can do this one.
Oh.
Aha!
How much?
Half a cup. You're going to have to push it down in the bottom. Now let's see how much that is. That should be about enough. Yeah, then you can put that in the bowl. Just scoop it in. I may have got some residual dust in it from preheating. All right. Okay. Now that that's in there, the next thing you're going to need is 1 full cup of white sugar. So that one, right? No, not that one. Yeah, 1 full cup.
I'm so good.
You are great. So we make them gluten-free, dairy-free because both me and my fiance are dairy-free and I'm gluten-free. And that's not a full cup. Make that a full cup. Okay, that's better. All right. So we just have them this way because we know they taste good and we're both allowed to have them. All right, so cream that together. And you're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla to that mixture. So I will add that while Scott's creaming those. 1 teaspoon. Smells like vanilla?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Okay, so the next step, once you've creamed it all together, is we're going to use a sifter, but if you don't have a sifter, it's not a big deal. We just use it because it makes everything smooth. So in your sifter, which is this fun device, we are going to put half a cup of cocoa. We have that there. That's a quarter. That's a quarter. That's a quarter.
That's a half.
No way.
Read it. It says half.
I don't trust that. I think this is a quarter. You don't want a half. That's a quarter.
Yeah, I knew that.
Make sure you do a half. Don't do a quarter like Scott. Do a whole, just do 2 of the quarters. You're fine.
Hey. I know numbers.
He's been out of school for too long. September will help us all.
Quarter.
You totally forgot the sifter. That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Skip the sifter. Just put it right in the bowl. We're skipping
Yeah, we're
the
not doing the
sifter.
sifter, are we? I need that.
Okay. And you want half a cup of flour. So today we are using gluten-free. So there is the Bob's bread mill that you can use. There's also just the Robin Hood gluten-free flour blend that you can use also. They both work just as good. I've tried almond flour. I find that a bit more grainy in this recipe, so don't use just straight almond flour. Yeah, you want half a cup of flour.
And I've got half.
But it requires so little flour that it's really not a big deal either way. Okay, perfect. And now you want a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Yes, sir.
I'm not going to do this anymore.
Perfect. We need a 1/4 of baking powder.
1/4 teaspoon.
Yes, please. And you're going to mix that up. Oh, heavens. Scott is really good at mixing.
I'm just really good at making things tidy.
And then the last 2 ingredients. Well, it's really 1 ingredient. We're just going to use 2 of them. Are eggs. So I'm going to crack it in there to make this easier for Scott. You can add these to the margarine and sugar portions first if you wanted to. That might be easier for some of you. But really just add them at any time. As long as they're incorporated, you're good to go. All right. So Scott's going to finish mixing that. Once that is all combined, that will be what you put directly into your baking dish. Good?
Good.
Perfect. All right. Pass the bowl to Mert.
Good.
Yeah, so we're going to scrape everything off the spoon. Scott's going to go get cleaned up for the next step. And you're just going to pour this right into your baking dish. Well, this isn't a great scraper. I don't really know why I picked the worst one. Okay, and then you're just going to want to take your baking dish and you're just going to want to spread it out until it's evenly across the bottom. Oh, that's way better. Okay, that got me a better one. Okay, so just make sure you get everything out of the bowl. And then that's going to go into the oven. So start with your timer at about 15 to 20 minutes. And then test it with a toothpick. If the toothpick comes out dry, that means it's going to be good to go. So we're just going to spread it. And then pop that in the oven. All right, Scotty, toss that in the oven.
So I need to put the timer on here. Oh, that's not good. Oh, like
We
that.
forgot to unstack the oven. All right, so those are going into the oven, and Scott's going to put on a timer for about 15 minutes or so, and then we'll check. Now, the next part of these for us is icing. So with our icing, again, we're going to use the vegan Basal. So, yeah, that's perfect. We use about between a quarter to a half. This one, we don't really measure most of the ingredients, so you just go with what works. So we're going to do 15 minutes. We'll start with 15 and see how it goes. We're going to do about a spoonful of margarine. All right, Scott, do you remember what goes into this one? Oh,
baking powder. Yeah.
No,
that's not what it is.
Icing sugar. So Scott's going to throw in some icing sugar.
I'm so good.
You're great at this.
Yeah. Covered in butter.
Which do we want to use today?
That's good. Too much, too little.
You're going to want more than that. Significantly more than that. So with this icing, depending on how much you want to make, you can start with either 4 to 6 cups of icing. It does make a lot of icing. So if you only want a light layer of icing on your brownies, start with about 4. If you want a thicker layer, make more icing. You can never go wrong with icing. Okay, so you need icing sugar, margarine, or butter if you prefer butter, about a teaspoon of vanilla, and then again, you won't thank me for this. We need cocoa, but we don't measure. I've been making these since I've been about maybe 4 or 5. So I don't really follow the recipes anymore, but I'll measure out to be kind. So let's see, we're going to do about a quarter of a cup to start with, and we probably will go more. Okay, so go with that, and we'll see how dark that gets. We use the cocoa bought at Bulk Barn, and we use the dark red cocoa. So we like as dark a cocoa as you can possibly find without it being the black. We find the lighter cocoas have a bit less of a sweet, like they're much sweeter. We like a combination, kind of like the bittersweet chocolate chips. A little bit bitter, a little bit sweet. It just makes it a really rich flavor. So Scott's going to mix that all together. Make sure you get all the lumps and bumps. Cocoa and icing sugar are 2 elements that have a lot of lumps and a lot of bumps, and nobody likes them. So we're going to put a bit more in because that is way too smooth and we haven't even added milk. You're welcome.
Oh, that's a lot.
So the other way to make these dairy-free is the final element in this icing is milk. So we won't be using regular milk just because I can't have regular milk. Scott's not supposed to have regular milk. We'll try and follow the rules today. So your options that we use are either almond milk or macadamia nut milk. Macadamia nut milk is very thick, so it's kind of like a coconut cream versus a milk. So if you want a really kind of heavy icing, go macadamia nut. If you want a lighter one, we're just going to use the vanilla almond milk. That is my personal favorite. I'm just going to add a little bit. Again, you're just going to do it a splash at a time. So if you needed a measurement, probably go a tablespoon at a time so that it doesn't get to be too much. And then you can just mix it in. The nice thing about this icing is if it gets too liquidy, add more sugar. If it gets too hard, add more milk. I think we're going to add a bit more cocoa because it's not quite dark enough. All right, there we go. So this is a really, really easy recipe, but it's a recipe that lots of people can eat because you're making it dairy and gluten-free. It's really tasty with ice cream on top. It's really tasty with drizzle on top if you want to do like a chocolate syrup or a caramel syrup. It's really great with berries added. And again, if you wanted to make your batter a bit more fancy, you can add some chopped nuts into there, some chocolate chips into there. You could probably even add some peanut butter chocolate chips into there because I know a lot of people like a combination of peanut and chocolate. How does that feel?
Feels like icing.
Well, that's a good sign. It may be a bit too thin still. So I'm going to add a little bit more icing sugar, and then I'll get Scott to show you kind of the thickness that you're looking for once he's mixed it together. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them into the comments. I'm happy to answer anything you have. And again, this video will be up for streaming, so you'll be able to watch this, rewatch this, take down the recipe whenever you need it. Okay, make sure you squish all those lumps and bumps. Yes, that's a perfect texture. So you want it to kind of be a little bit thinner than cookie dough. So you want it to be nice and thick so that it stays on your brownies, but you don't want it thin so it's watery. So cookie dough is a bit too thick. Just go one step before that without all the lumps and bumps. Scott's doing a good job. You should see. So we did the cupcake one last week, and we made a mess of the kitchen. So Claire is going to be very pleased with us today because we have kept this kitchen quite clean. Okay, Scott, do you want to just tilt that and show them what it looks like, or do you want me to do it? Okay, so the texture of your batter, or not your batter, this is your icing. It's pretty thick, but still movable. And Scott has done a really good job on that. So we are going to leave that batter. The brownies are going to cook in the oven for about another probably 10-ish minutes. So we're going to check on them. But before we go, because we don't have too much to do today, this was a pretty quick one. We just wanted to give time in case anyone had questions. This is what the brownies will look like when they're done. So you will have a really moist brownie on the bottom and a really thick icing on the top. And they are so delicious. When you take them out of the oven, you need to wait for them to cool. So probably wait 20 to 30 minutes, especially in this heat. You don't want them warm before you ice them. And then you can ice them. In my house, we leave them in the tray and we just serve them from the tray. But if you want to take them out of the tray, you're going to want to slice them all at the same time and then scoop them out. They probably won't always look too square just because they're so moist that they hold a lot of moisture that they don't go perfect square. But they are so tasty and so delicious. Again, just remember, this recipe can be adapted using regular flour. So if you didn't want to use gluten-free flour, you just use the exact same amount of regular flour as with milk, as with butter or margarine. You can just add your own to it. You don't have to use what I'm using. We just do it this way to make them okay for us to eat. If you have any questions about this, feel free to shoot me an email, comment on the Facebook video, comment on the YouTube video, and I will respond as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for joining us. Scott and I will be back on Wednesday. We are going to be making banana bread 2 ways. So one is regular banana bread and one is a gluten-free, dairy-free one. So if you want to check out those and you want to come hang out with us, feel free to. We will also be doing easy oat bars in the next couple weeks and chocolate eclairs. So there's lots more of us coming. Hit our subscribe button on our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and check out WPL.ca for lots of different programs. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Bye, guys. Bye.